All right, let's go ahead and look at one more question. We got number 7 from our worksheet. Mission Impossible 13 and Pirates of the Caribbean 7.5, both being released on the same weekend. Mission Impossible 13 earned 31 million. Hey, that looks important. So 31 million in the first week, and then 25 million the following week. We'll go on to Pirates of the Caribbean, made 23 million the first week, and then 18 million the next week. Okay, so that's our important information. It looks like I got the Mission Impossible in yellow and the Pirates of the Caribbean in blue. So let's define our variables. It looks like solve the following system to make how many weeks it will be before they earn the same amount. So it sounds like one variable needs to be the number of weeks. Very often you can look in the question itself and figure out what your variables are supposed to be. If it's asking you about it, how many weeks earn the same amount. So y needs to be the total amount made in a week. So that's in millions, of course. All right, so let's go ahead and see if we can write a couple of equations now that we've defined our variables. So this is asking how much is made in a week. Well, now this, of course, is assuming that it decreases the same amount every week. All right, so if we say that Mission Impossible will make in a week 31 million the first week. Now each week, oh, that's not week E. In each week, it's going to lose 6 million. So how do I show that each week it's losing 6 million? Just like this. So 6 times the number of weeks. So that's our Mission Impossible information right there. And so now let's write an equation for Pirates of the Caribbean. We said 23 million the first week, so y equals 23. How much did it lose after that first week? Or how much, not did it lose, but the amount of money that it made went down. Well, 23 to 18, that would be minus 5x. And so now the question is, how many weeks will it take before they earn the same amount? Again, this should have been written here, but this is with the assumption that it loses the same amount each week. All right, so let's go ahead and solve. We've got the two y equations. We need to get a variable by itself. Oh, schmack, y is already by itself. That y is all by itself too. Oh no, what am I going to do? Well, I'm just going to substitute because that's what I'm supposed to do, Mr. Bauer. So let's do it. We're going to put the 23 minus 5x in for the y, which is going to make this 23 minus 5x is equal to 31 minus 6x. We'll subtract the 23 from both sides. Or you could do the x's first. I usually like to do the x's first. I have no idea why I did the numbers first this time. But 31 minus 23 is 8. And then I've got minus 6x. We'll add 6x to both sides. That means x equals 8. So that would be 8 weeks. And so now let's go ahead and plug that in. We can plug it into either one. So let's go ahead and plug it into the second one. So y equals 23 minus 5 times 8. And we're going to get y equals 23 minus 40, which means y equals negative 17. All right? Now some of you are like, okay, good, the answer is 8 and negative 17. And some of you are like, well, Mika Bauer, why don't I get a negative number? And some of you are like, well, negative number. Okay, well, what is y? Is it okay for it to be negative? That's the question you have to ask yourself. There's nothing wrong with a negative number. But the problem is, can this specific thing be negative? So if we look at y is the amount of money that was made in a specific week. Would that be negative $17 million? Well, the answer is probably not, right? It wouldn't make any sense for them to keep showing the movie if they're losing money every week. And so we would have to make the assumption then that this is starting with each week. They make this much money. As the weeks pass, they do get closer and closer together. But it's going to take 8 weeks before they make the same amount, and they're definitely not going to go into negatives. And so we will have to say reasonably they will never make the same amount in a particular week. Because once they get down to 0, they're going to stop.